Hey. Now, the last video I made about crafting got more attention than I expected. I did want to make a video that was helpful, but I also feel like I rushed with some bits that I didn't fully know about. And looking at the audience retention and some comments, you guys mostly wanted the crafting and forging guide, so that's why I'm gonna make a more in-depth video that properly tells you how to craft tools and weapons, and even how to forge great metal tools, weapons, armor, you name it. I'll even show you how to get the important resources for your crafting and forging. But anyway, let's get on with the video. Now, starting off with crafting, the new crafting mechanic works way different than in build 41. To start off, we now don't just have one condition for weapons, but actually two, handle and head condition. This basically means instead of your hammer or axe breaking into thin air, it'll break only the head or handle. Which means you could break your axe head mid-fight, but be able to finish some of them with just a stick. Now, the handle won't last very long fighting in that state, but you'll be able to clear at least a few zombies with it. The great thing is, it means if the head or handle broke, then you can just replace it. So at my little workbench here, I have some tools and materials. Let's say you want to make an axe. To start, you'll need a surface, like a table or a big rock, and of course lighting. And you're gonna need the axe head and a handle. Then you're gonna need a hammer and a sharp tool or weapon, like a knife. Then you just craft it and bam, you have an axe. Same process for this hand axe and hammer. Be aware that it'll take some durability off whatever sharp tool or weapon you use to craft it, just like it did with my hunting knife. And you know what? Let's sharpen it. You're gonna need either a grindstone, whetstone, crude whetstone, file or small file set. You can craft the grindstone and crude whetstone. Now sharpening a tool or weapon has a chance to fail and decrease the condition instead. But with the file and small file set, it has a higher chance of failing. Anyway, you just sharpen it by either right-clicking the thing you want to sharpen or just doing it in the crafting menu. And there you go, the hunting knife is fully sharpened. And you may be asking, does sharpness have an effect on combat? Yes and no. Damage does go down, but very little, even at zero sharpness. Though when using in combat at this zero sharpness, it will lose condition way faster than with max sharpness. But now I can hear some of you saying again, what if I don't want to make puny hammers or sharpen my knife, but I want to make cool weapons and armor instead? And don't worry, we're moving on to that now. Now, forging weapons and armor is really cool and an interesting thing they added in build 42. You'll need to do quite a lot of stuff. It should be obvious that you need a forge and a furnace, and you will craft a primitive one to start with. To craft them, you'll need quite a lot of clay, so be sure to get loads of that. If you don't know how to find it or have it hard finding it, don't worry, it's covered later in the video. Anyway, you craft a furnace with 6 clay, 4 stone and a bucket of clay cement mix. Which, don't worry, you don't use all of it in one go. And you craft the forge with the bucket of clay cement mix again, 10 stone and a stone anvil. The stone anvil you craft with a stone chisel, hammer and of course a large stone. The stone chisel you can craft with a few sharp flint flakes, but it does require a recipe, so get that first. Anyway, after you crafted those two, you'll need a few things to begin forging. You will need a crucible, and not the small one, you need to craft a large one. You need tongs, you can use the crafted crude wooden tongs, but to forge some things later on you'll need proper tongs. And you'll need a fuel like wood, charcoal, and then finally you just need whatever metal item you want to smelt into a metal chunk. Now you might not have those tools, and that's why I'll quickly go over how you make them. Starting easy, you need the tongs. You can craft the crude wooden tongs with just a sharp knife, tree branch, and something like a rag or twine to bind it together. Then you need wood charcoal, which you can make with a burning pile. To build the burning pile, you will need a spade to dig that, and you can just do it somewhere. Then you just add some logs, and there you go. You have wood charcoal. Now you will also need this large ceramic crucible, which you craft out of clay. And to do this, you need to first build a pottery wheel, which just takes some planks and nails. Then you need some clay and 1 level in pottery to sculpt the large clay crucible. Now you need to harden it with a kiln, which you can build with lots of clay and a mason's trowel. You can only use the mason's trowel for this, no other item, which can make this step a little difficult, so be sure to get it. Anyway, then you just fire the clay crucible, which takes a log as fuel and some way to light the fire. After that, you're set. Now you just need metal objects to smelt down into iron chunks. After you got your iron chunks, move to the furnace where you can begin forging. But since you probably don't have any levels in blacksmithing, you need to start small. To start, you should forge something like small knives, and a lot of them if you want to level up. To forge a small knife, you will need the following: some proper metal tongs, the wood charcoal as fuel, and an iron quarter bar, which you can get from forging a few iron chunks together. There you go, you have a crafted small knife. Now repeat this process a lot and you can craft yourself some of the coolest weapons and armor in the game. Anyway, as promised, I'll tell you how to get the important resources. Starting off with clay. When I just started playing Build 42 and needed all that clay to build the important stuff, I found it difficult to find any clay. And other people online had the same problem. You'd think you could just find them near bodies of water like a river, but no. From my testing, I found that foraging on roads lead to getting more clay. This is because I think clay counts as stone, and looking at the little chance menu inside the foraging tab, it says you will have a high chance of getting stone there. So set the foraging focus to stones and you should be getting more. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm saying this to you guys since I've personally seen a difference in doing this. Now for stones and wood, you can of course forage for them, but you can also find stone, large stone, twigs, tree branches, and even logs on the ground visually. You grab them with right-clicking directly where they are and picking them up. The stones that are bundled together are mineral deposits, which, if grey, can drop a lot of flint nodules, or if they are yellowish, they will drop limestone. You mine these with a pickaxe or a hammer. Hey guys, I just want to say that I've looked at the last video again and wow, it has gotten way more attention with views and comments. I didn't expect my video to go popular at all. I just made it since when I was playing on a solo run, I was nowhere prepared on how difficult it was to begin forging. So that and your comments have filled me with the need to make this video the best I could, so that you could hopefully understand what I've learned too. Anyways, I just want to say thanks for all the support and yeah, see ya.